Good afternoon, guys. It's Workin bringing you a quick update on Bitcoin. Hope you guys are having a wonderful afternoon. We're looking at Bitcoin to the US dollars at the 4-hour chart on Coinbase. And last time we spoke, guys, we discussed this consolidation pattern that the price was getting squeezed here tighter and tighter inside this wedge. I told you as we approached the apex, we'd be looking for a larger move. And of course, we did see price finally break up at out of this descending resistance line that I had pointed out. It broke up, came back down for the retest right on top of that 3,800, what was resistance, started acting as support. Then we had that second bounce, which is a bullish sign, guys, but I'm very cautiously optimistic right now. I'm very, very leery that this may be a bull trap. I say that because we haven't really had that push up through this area right here. We can see there's a lot of resistance right in this area. We can see the price wick, and then broke down here before, which tells me there's still a lot of some sell orders that are sitting right here, guys. So I really want to see it push very, very decisively into this zone between certainly above 4,000. That's going to be an extremely important psychological number, guys, but just at least getting into this zone is what we need to see. And right now, I'm not quite seeing the volume that I'd like to see. If we refresh volume, guys, and look over your total volume sitting at about 5.2 billion, that is an uptick from what we've seen over the last couple days. If we look here, guys, we've had 4.9, 4.7, 4.6, 4.3. So we had that volume dropping off very, very slowly over the last 3 days. And then, of course, today it just kind of exploded up. And I say that very loosely, not really exploded, but, we did have an uptick compared to yesterday. We're up about 1 billion in volume today, which is something certainly to keep an eye on, guys, but it's nowhere near the kind of volume that we need to see for a sustainable bull run, and it certainly doesn't suggest a bottom is in quite yet. Doesn't mean the bottom may not be in, guys. That's a possibility. It just doesn't, we're not seeing the evidence of it quite yet. Now, one of the other things that's making me skeptical of this move, we're looking at, well, let me get over here to shorts versus longs first. All right, looking at short positions, guys, we can see shorts kind of fell off here, and then they've been moving sideways for about the last 10 to 12 hours. So nothing real significant at all on shorts, basically just kind of stagnant overall, looking at big picture. However, looking at longs have been stacking consistently here for the last, well, really the last 4 or 5 days, and they certainly have today. Longs, as price has gone up, longs have gone up right along with it, and that gives me pause, guys, because as I always tell you guys, market makers, it's a zero-sum game. For someone to make money, someone's losing money, and so as longs start to stack, shorts start to fall off, market makers are going to have incentive to liquidate these longs. And what do you do to liquidate longs? Well, you bring price right back down. So I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying if this thing is going to be sustainable, we really need to see an influx of volume coming in, and we're not seeing that yet. One of the other things that I'm looking at, guys, if we come over here and I zoom in here, look at the 4-hour, pardon me, looking at the 4-hour MACD, and look at it versus price, what do we have? We can see obviously right here, price is creating a higher high. We're in a slight uptrend here. If we look at the MACD at the exact same points, what do we have? We have a pretty significant lower high. So we obviously have bearish divergence on the MACD, and that would suggest, and it's only on the hourly, we're not seeing it on the higher time frame, so that would suggest a possible temporary pullback here. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see price come back down, retesting this 3,800 support. Hopefully it does continue to act as support. If that does happen, guys, that's going to be a rather bullish sign. If we do come back, we reverse course, come back down here strongly and break back through that 3,800, I'm going to start to think this was a complete bear trap, guys. And so again, I would, if you did take that trade back here, if you were looking for a trade entry, I should say, I told you guys to be very, very careful. You don't want to just trade as soon as price breaks out. Now, if you did trade the retest here, that's always the best time to enter. Price breaks up, comes back down, starts testing what was resistance, should act as support, and you want to enter on that bounce. But if you did enter on that bounce, guys, I would be at this point, I would probably just take my profit. I would not be holding on to any. I would not be doing any swing trades at all at this point, guys. Just very, very quick scalp and or day trades right now, but not really any swing trades. The only things I'd be doing are quick scalp trades long-term dollar cost averaging in for the long haul. By the long haul, I mean holding for a year or more. But as far as a swing trade, guys, we just do not have enough information to validate a swing trade at all at this point. And I would just basically be sitting back and waiting, watching for some kind of confirmation before you do anything. Excuse me. Looking at that 4-hour RSI, guys, I pointed this out last time. The 4-hour RSI was also getting squeezed here, series of lower highs, higher lows. Or excuse me, lower highs, higher lows, and you know that it did break up above that descending resistance line, guys. So again, that was a good sign that price was as soon as we broke out of this, as I told you guys last time, that'd be a good sign that we were coming up to, or price was going to make some decent gains. I think we made about a 6% gain so far, guys. So again, this is a bullish sign, guys. But I wouldn't be surprised to see this come back down. And what I would like to see on the RSI, guys, I'd like to see it maintain itself above 50. I don't want to see the RSI dropping back below 50 on the 4-hour. If it does do that, guys, again, I will start to be very concerned that this is just a bull trap and that's nothing more. Looking at the daily RSI, daily RSI sitting fairly neutral here, not moving much at all, sitting right around 50, a very, very neutral. And again, what I want to see is I want to see this get some distance between this neutral, this 50 zone. I'd like to see the RSI break up above this area right here, up above into 60, maybe 65, somewhere thereabouts, and start consolidating in that area. So I want to just get it out of this neutral zone that it's been in for the last few days. Excuse me. Zooming back in on the 4-hour chart, guys, what I want to see, as I said, I want to see price breaking into this zone here right now. If we go on this little microstructure right here, if I go swing, excuse me, guys, swing high, swing low, we can see it's hitting perfectly right here at the 50. That coincides nicely with this area here where it hit right perfectly at the 50. So again, let's see if we can get above this 3,900, decisively above 3,900, at least on Coinbase. It'll be a little bit higher on Bitfinex, or just check your various exchanges, guys. But the concept is the same. Sorry, guys. There's a frog in my throat. The concept here is the same. Just had to get a drink of water. Trying to drink water and talk is hard. So the concept is the same, guys. We want to, if we go swing high, swing low, looking here at the 50, I want to see us break above this 50 fib level and certainly get above the 618. The 618 we can see is jiving almost perfectly with 4,000. Again, that's not a coincidence. We've had this 4,000 marked for quite some time as a resistance area or support, certainly a relevant zone, and we're seeing that Fibonacci levels are lining up perfectly with the resistance and support areas on price. And again, that's not a coincidence, guys. Fibonacci is just amazing. So I want to see us decisively break above 50, have that start acting as support at least. And if we can consolidate into this zone here above 4,000, that's going to be relevant, or it's going to be extremely important, not just because that's a good psychological, but because that'll get us north of this 618 fib level, this little microstructure. But really, the overall structure that we're watching, as I showed you guys last time, let me zoom out here to the daily. And we look at, this is where price first started making structure after we broke down from that 6,000 area, as I told you guys last time. So if we look at that as our larger structure here, and we go swing high, swing low on this larger structure, we can see that this area is and I know I showed you guys this before, but for the benefit of those who have not heard, this is the area that we need to break above. We need to break above this 4120 resistance area here. That's going to get us north of that golden pocket. The golden pocket sits between the 618 fib level and the 65 fib level. If we can get north of that, start consolidating above 4120, again, that's when algos are going to start switching and they're going to start picking targets up here. And that's when we may get a decent, that may spark a bull run, at least temporarily. Don't know, but we're going to have to wait and see if we can get the kind of volume to sustain that. But if we do break above that, that's certainly going to get my attention, guys. And I don't mean by a wick. We've broken above by a wick here. I mean a decisive break above. In other words, a daily candle opening and closing above that area. If that does happen, guys, that's going to be an extremely bullish sign. The other thing that we're looking at, if we pull over here to the daily, come over here and look at our moving average and exponential moving averages, I want to see on the daily chart, I want to see price break above this 50-day moving average, this orange line here, and we just did break above this 21-day EMA. We still have not had a decisive break. It's been basically just kind of consolidating almost right on top of that 21-day EMA. And as I always tell you guys, it's a very good, the 21-day EMA is a very good signal as to a momentum shift in favor of the bulls or the bears. Anytime we have a decisive decisive break. Now again, we had the candle close. Yesterday's candle closed above. Today's candle has opened above. I want to see today's candle also close above this 21-day EMA. If that does happen, and certainly if we can break above the 50-day moving average, but if we can at least close above the 21-day EMA, again, guys, that's going to be an extremely bullish sign in my opinion, and that could signal at least a temporary momentum shift in favor of the bulls. Coming over here, looking at the 4-hour, we are seeing the 4-hour break hit the top of the Bollinger Bands here. So this does signal, again, as I told you before, a possible pullback, and I also talked about that pullback with that bearish divergence we had on the hourly chart. So I would not be surprised to see price come back here and at least retest this 3,800, what was resistance, should act as support, and let's see if it does, if we do get that retest. So again, we're watching this area here, see if we can at least break into 4,100 to 4,120 to 4,000. Certainly if we can break above, that'd be bullish. We're also seeing if this 3,800 support can last. If we break back down into the 3,800 to 3,600 area, that's going to be just a neutral sign, nothing to get excited about, nothing to get panicked about. If we break below 3,600, that is when I'm going to start to get very concerned. And I think if we get a decisive break below 3,600, it's going to quickly fall down to this 3,400 to 3,250 area. So again, watching this very, very closely. As far as a trade, entering any kind of a trade, guys, I would just hands off at the moment, guys. I would not enter any kind of a trade. I just kind of, unless you're looking at a long-term hold and your dollar cost averaging in. But as far as any kind of a swing trade, I would just be sitting on my hands at this point, waiting for a better entry point. And right now, I'm just not seeing it. Right now, I can really see this thing going in either direction. And I know that sounds like a cop-out, guys. I don't mean it to be. I'm just saying we're getting a lot of signs that, as I pointed out, that, you know, with long stacking, shorts falling off, market makers could bring this thing right back down. And I don't want you guys to get caught in any kind of a bear trap. Now, if it does come back down into this area, if you want a quick scalp trade right around 3,800 to see if it gets a nice little bounce off 3,800, maybe a small scalp trade there, but I would go very, very small and have a very tight stop loss. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it there. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, I would appreciate an upvote if you have enjoyed this content. Until next time, guys, please trade safe. Take care of yourselves. Happy New Year. This is Workin, signing out.